Episode 3319, Empower Your Inner Dialogue.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Are you ready for a brand new week? Oh, come on, because it is a brand new day. It's a brand new week, and it's time for you to set the tempo of what is to come. It's time to empower your inner dialogue. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. Well, a few announcements real quick. We have so much going on. I just got back from like 3 conferences between 2 hotels. Talk about being wiped out. And with all of that, there's so much going on really in the back end of Create Your Now. So we've got AIM coming up. Yes, I was really hoping it would launch by Valentine's Day, but we're going to be showing the love here really soon, so stay tuned. We're working as fast as we can, as best as we can to get this stuff up and running. Remember, we've got the TV show, and soon it will be on our website. We're working on that too. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks, yes, we're talking about the beginning of March, like before we spring into everything. Well, Create Your Now will be springing into a lot of things. We'll have simulcast coming up, which means a time to gather together and to worship with one another, to learn, to grow, to stretch. And then with AIM, of course, that's our gathering place. That's where we can come and support one another. And I'm just so encouraged by what God is doing and how he's moving. So be sure to stay tuned here on the podcast and also at createyournow.com. All right, take a deep breath, because we are in this fast-paced world, right? And unfortunately, though, I feel like we are bombarded with self-doubt and self-criticism. It's like pie in the face all the time. And as much as I love pie to eat it, I don't want to wear it. And so we've got to learn to talk to ourselves in a manner that is crucial for maintaining mental well-being. We've got to make sure that what we put in our mind is what we want coming out. Empower your inner dialogue. And what that really means is words have power, and what you say to yourself matters. Not just the things that come out of your mouth, because for whatever reason, I'm not sure, people think that it's the words that are only spoken. But the words that you think about, you bring about. It's what's said in your head that has a greater impact. According to research conducted by the National Science Foundation, the average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Now, that's the average. I'm a deep thinker, so I think I go above the average. So honestly, I do. I'm probably about 75 to 80,000 thoughts. My mind goes lickety-split. You know your mind best, so where would you fall? Well, of those thoughts, 80% are negative and 95% are repetitive thoughts from the previous day. Think about that. If 80% are negative and 95% are repetitive thoughts from the previous day, what's the likelihood of you thinking only negative? No, pretty good high probability, right? Of course it is. This statistic highlights the significant impact our thoughts and internal dialogue have on our mental well-being and overall outlook on life. And you wonder why our dreams die. You wonder why we don't reach our goals. Transforming negative self-talk into positive affirmations can lead to improved self-esteem, reduced stress levels, and increased mental resilience, all of which we need today. And it is crazy out there. But that means you have to intentionally think on a different level. That means you have to raise the bar, raise the standard for yourself. What would it mean for you to hear only uplifting and positive things in your own head? Now, I know you do not ask yourself that question very often. So how would it feel to look in the mirror in the morning and say, my gosh, you look beautiful? What would it mean to you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow, you have so many talents to give the world. Today you get to use this one, and then name it. How would that change your outlook? How would that change your attitude? In fact, how would you look differently on your day? How would you show up differently in meetings or in interactions at work or with colleagues or even with strangers. If you want to have a better attitude and overall well-being, you got to engage in positive conversation. That is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Engage in positive conversation. And that positive conversation is the one that you're having with yourself. That inner dialogue. We're great putting on the front for everybody else, but what about for yourself? What you say matters. I cannot stress that enough. And what you think about, you bring about. So if you're thinking 80% negative thoughts, right? And you can't get rid of all the negative thoughts. Let's just be real here. You can't. You're going to have those. You're going to put yourself down. You're going to compare yourself. That's just second nature, unfortunately, but it doesn't have to be your first choice. Notice how I said that. It doesn't have to be your first choice. You get to choose, my friend. You get to choose how you show up. You get to choose what you think about within your own head. You know, there are times that I just find myself exhausted. Going. And then it's like, okay, wait, take a break. So I sit down and I take a break. And every once in a while, I'll sit there and say, you don't have time for a break. You got to keep going. There's no time for you to rest. And I'm thinking, if I don't rest, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this is my body and I get to decide. And so I changed my thought. No, I get to rest because these next 15 to 20 minutes may help propel me for the next 3 hours of what I know needs to get done. And I need to be in the best frame of mind, the best physical self that I can be. And that might mean having a power nap. And there's nothing wrong with that. What you say matters, my friend. So what are you putting in your head? What are you reading? What are you telling yourself? So let's look at how you can engage in positive conversation with yourself. Number one, practice self-compassion. Instead of berating yourself for mistakes or flaws, that means beating yourself up. That means taking yourself to the floor and the ground and saying, punch, punch. We do it well, but it's got to stop. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Speak to yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend facing a difficult situation. When you make a mistake, acknowledge it without judgment. Yeah, you got to own it, but that doesn't mean that you keep beating yourself up about it. And remind yourself that everyone is not perfect, right? We all have flaws. Now, that doesn't mean that we cannot rise to excellence. There is a difference. I do believe in excellence, but I do not believe in perfection. Perfection will only be reached on the other side, but not where we are now. So incorporate this into your daily routine by starting each morning with a positive affirmation, something that says, I love you. Maybe it's you are deserving of love and respect. So say to yourself, I deserve love and respect. I will treat myself kindly. I love who I am right now. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't want to better yourself. That doesn't mean that you're going to hang out with where you are and be okay with it, right? You want to reach for excellence. I've been really working hard on my body in a multitude of different ways. And I'm not satisfied yet, but that doesn't mean I love myself any less right now than I did a year ago or 2 years ago. There's always room for improvement, but that doesn't mean I beat myself up along the way. Number two, engage in positive self-affirmations. You've got to use uplifting phrases to reinforce your self-worth and capabilities. Know your strengths, even your weaknesses. Remind yourself of your talents, your gifts, focusing on what makes you unique and special. Call those out. And if you don't know what to do, create yourself a joy jar, a kind jar, whatever you want to label it. And write things of everything that you love about who you are. And I know initially it might feel weird doing that, but then every morning just draw out a piece of paper and read that. And then you could put it back in. But every single day, every single evening, you will see and be able to read of something that's positive. Now, if you're like, I don't know, do it for the family. Have each of you put in the positives about what you love about one another. Everybody gets their own jar. And then place that pretty jar in the bathroom. And I say the bathroom, why? Because we all got to go. I'm just saying. And so you might as well let go of the negative and embrace the positive. Put it where you can see yourself. And then when you incorporate these affirmations into your daily life, repeat them in the moments of self-doubt or anxiety. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed at work, you can silently affirm, I am competent and able to handle any challenge that comes my way. Right? The strength doesn't lie within me, it relies within God. I got this because He's got me. Whatever it is for you, engage in that positive self-affirmations. Create those jars. I'm telling you, they work. And finally, number 3, practice gratitude towards yourself. Yeah, that means you've got to be grateful for who you are and who you are becoming. Recognize and appreciate the efforts that you make every single day, no matter how small or how big they are. Acknowledge your achievements and progress, celebrating even the tiniest of victories. And by expressing gratitude towards yourself, you cultivate a sense of self-worth and confidence. Incorporate this practice into your daily routine by keeping a gratitude journal, listing 3 things that you're grateful for every single day. Now, for me, I don't got time for that. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I know gratitude journals are big, but I like my jars. Why? Because then I can pull them out. And it's much more interactive. I love things that help me interact with who I am becoming. And so for me, my gratitude goes into my jar. What I love about myself goes into my jar. And that's why I call it the joy jar. Because it brings joy. And it puts a smile on my face. My friend, the way you speak to yourself matters. That inner dialogue is vital to you taking your next step. Remember, 1 step at a time leads to miles of greatness. So incorporate that self-compassion, those positive affirmations, and be grateful for who you are becoming. And when you do all of that, you can transform your self-talk from negative to empowering. My friend, words have power. Use them wisely to uplift and to inspire yourself. Go in peace, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.